So I've been thinking a lot about goals and trying to achieve my goals, and I have all these different things that I want to do. I want to build machine into this big thing. I have these big plans of all this stuff. Create careers for my team and whoever is going to be on the team in the future. Create this cool thing for the graph community. Like I want to do all of this kind of stuff. I want to rescue a whole bunch of dogs. I want to get in much better shape. I want to do all these things, and it's hard to focus on all of those goals. I mean, you can't really focus on all of them at once, but you can kind of switch focus. But what I really wanted to talk about is something that Alex Hermosi said, and it's like, instead of focusing on the goals, focus on the things you got to do every day, or becoming the person that does those things. I don't remember exactly how he worded it, so it might not be exactly right, but the way I'm looking at it is that it's like, it's a little, there's a lot of moving parts in the business things, but with the health and fitness and all that shit, it's a pretty, we all know what we're supposed to do. You got to eat healthy and exercise in some way. And, obviously there's a lot of different things. Like if you want to be a bodybuilder, there's different shit you got to do and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not going to get into any of that. But if you just want to get in better shape, or if you want to lose weight, let's say if I was like, I want to lose 20 pounds. If let's say I was starting right now and, I say, okay, I'm going to eat healthy every day. I'm going to exercise. It could take quite a while before I start to see any results from that. So I could exercise, eat healthy, and then the next day I get on the scale. You're not going to see any difference. You might not even see any difference for like 6 weeks sometimes, depending on what you're trying to do. It's one of those things, or all of these like goals that you want to accomplish, like things that are really meaningful. They often are like that. They take a long time. Not only do they take a long time to achieve, but it's like the results come slow, so it's easy to get discouraged. Let's say for like 3 weeks, you're exercising, you're doing all the shit you're supposed to do. You're drinking water, you're doing all these things. You're getting on the scale every day, you're looking in the mirror, and you're not seeing any changes. That's kind of where a lot of people fall off, because they're like, fuck, man, I'm not seeing any changes. I get discouraged. You're super focused on that end thing. You're like, I want to be in this shape. I want a six-pack, or I want whatever. And that's where your focus is. But the way that Alex was talking about it, and what I like about it, is like, if you set the goal to become the person that does the shit that they need to do in order to get you to be the person that you want to be, then you can achieve that right now. You can achieve that today. Right now, you can start doing the shit that you need to do. So instead of like focusing on that thing that's way out in the future, if you're focusing on that shit every single day, you're going to get there. And it's less discouraging, because like at the end of the day, if you did the shit that you said you were going to do, and that's your goal is to, I don't know. For me, it would be something like walk for 20 minutes in the morning, followed by like 15 to 20 minutes of intense workouts, like fucking kettlebells or some shit, and eating healthy or staying below a certain calorie with this much protein, whatever. I don't want to get into this. I'm not super, it's not important. But if you have all these goals and these things if you have all these daily tasks and that's your goal, then that's something you can achieve right now, and you'll get that instant gratification. And then I was reading this book recently. Well, I was listening to the audio of it. It's called the 5 a.m. Club. I don't know if I'd recommend it or not, but listen to a free sample and see. But anyway, they did say something that I was thinking about, and they said that that if you stick with something for 66 days, like, so if you say, in their thing, they have this like morning routine. I'm just getting to that part, so it's not really top of mind, but it's mainly like 20 minutes. If I remember right, it's 20 minutes of exercise, then 20 minutes of like reflection or something like that. So it could be meditation or all these kind of things. And then 20 minutes of like learning or growth. So you could read or whatever, listen to educational content or something like that. So those are the 320 things. And so what they're talking about is like it's going to take 66 days before that's like solidified as a habit. I've heard other numbers, like I heard 21 at one point, but 66 is an interesting number because I don't know, it's like popped up a bunch of times, like a lot of times when I'm running numbers for like sticker shit, like the number 66 comes up kind of regularly. So I don't know, maybe there's something to that, I'm not sure. But let's say you take that, let's say you believe that, okay, I'm going to set the goal to do the things that the person I want to be would do. So I want to be in better shape, so I'm going to set the goal to do this kind of exercise. I'm going to eat this style, however it is that you want to do. That's my goal. As long as I accomplish that every day, then I know I'm moving towards that goal. So like at the end of the day, you're going to get that instant gratification because every day you get to win, and you're not super hyper focused on this end result that's going to take a while before you see things. And I have a feeling the time will go by faster if all you're focused on is winning each day. That's what I like about the power list. But the other thing I like about the 66 days thing is like when you think about your life, like 66 days is not really that much time, you're it'll be gone before you know it. So like let's say you set up a thing that you want to do, and you're like, I'm going to commit to doing this for 66 days. By the time you're that far into it at day 66, you're going to be like, that's going to be part of your life. Like you already have shit that you were doing in that time. Like a lot of people wake up and the first thing they do is they start scrolling on social media and shit like that. Like, so you already have those habits. I mean, you may not have that habit, but you already have things that you do every day. Like I get up every day and I drink a cup of coffee. And now, like as soon as I get up, like I don't even think about it. I just head right over, I scoop out the coffee, I start just making it. It's not even a decision anymore. And what if after 66 days, the first thing I do when I get up is work out? By the time 66 days is up, I'm not going to be like, that'll be so solidified into my life that like there's no way I'm going to stop doing it. So anyway, probably took longer than it needed to say this, but if you make the action that you have to do every day the goal, I think it's going to be a lot easier than if you're sitting here focused on something that's way out in the future. Anyway, hope that's helpful, and I'll see you next time.
All right, good. Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.